Can you smell what the flock is cooking? Flock up or flock off, not you. Stick around because it's about to go down. You now flock with the most energetic entity in the universe. Let's flock and go. We getting straight to it today, man. Got me a little hype, got me a little high, got me a little like, what the flock? Wednesday, I should have been here. What is... I'm already losing. I'm foaming at the... Still talking about slurp. He slurps it up. Yo, the things that are coming out of these people's mouth, I just said a few days ago, is postseason. Postseason, just to play on words for me, you know, positions of serious examination. You know what I'm saying? Just something that goes on in off season. But it seems to me that the poses have come out of the woodworks crazy in this time of the season. I know I'm getting crazy worked up already because you know what I say? I say these other organizations are in dysfunctional organizations like the Cowboys in San Fran, and they say it about me, and I get all out of sorts. It drives me crazy, right? But then I think to myself, you know what? I mean, this is what they do. This is what we do. This is what I do. This is what I'm supposed to say. But these guys are international, nationwide telecast. Like I do this for the birds. There's no shame in my game. It's straight bias over here. I look at the world through eagle color glass, open my eagle eye, poke my beak in, right? And all that, right? So these guys, though, they come on national TV. And not only that, I feel that I try to base my things in a certain amount of facts. These are San Francisco 49er players talking that trash we see with our own eyes. These are Cowboys players going at each other we see with our own eyes. These guys is out here making things up. It is crazy. It is wild to me, but I'm going to chill out. Because you know what I mean? And you got Carton, you got this guy Sims, you got even Canty. I just heard Canty talking crazy. What the fuck he just said? No need. There should be no need for Big Dom. Like, okay, we're acting as if, okay, if you don't know what's going on, you should already know what's going on. Whatever the case may be. Things are coming out that there's dysfunction, unfixable dysfunction in the Eagles organization. Big Dom is the whole reason we went down on a downslide, 1-6 over the last 7 games, whatever the case. Oh, he was there for the last game that we lost. I don't know. It's crazy. These dudes are really grabbing to it, and I have to take a step back and look at really what's going on here, where I'm looking at guys like Chris Canty, Craig Carton, and Phil Sims Jr., whatever, Chris Sims, right? These are all New Yorkers. Okay, I get it. All right, so, you know, a little bit of biasness into it, too, just like me. But once again, like I said, these are nationally telecast people. They're all over the damn country coming at us. But, I mean, like, you see people going at the Cowboys all the time. Anyway, and I say all that to say this. I love this time of year, man. Just talk, you know, deep down, really deep down inside the mind of a maniac. I'm loving what's going on. It's got me back in here talking this thing, doing what we love to do over here, talking about our damn birds. But, I mean, like... just going to start with the last one that I heard and then track back from there. So, Chris Canty just heard him saying there should be no need for Big Dom. Big Dom has been here since Andy Reid's been here. You didn't say there was no need for a Big Dom when Andy Reid was here. No need for a Big Dom when Chip Kelly was... It might have been... Because of what, I just don't get the mindset, like the horse-headedness. What do you call it? They got the blinders on, just looking at things on the micro with their micro minds, with that microman Kirk Carton. I mean, dogs, is you kidding me? This guy, not this guy. You got to be kidding me. But I just don't get the fact where they're saying that a guy like Big Dom is not needed, or if we need him for this reason, he shouldn't be here. Or furthermore, even what does Nick Sirianni even doing? I mean, I pose this question to everybody out there. I mean, like, not to say these guys aren't real football players, but unbiased football players, people that really know. And like I wanna send in to our guys, Quentin Michael and to Jason Avant, and see, I want this question submitted, because if I'm gonna ask that question, I also have to ask a question: what do guys like Jim Harbaugh do, Mike Harbaugh do? What are their areas of expertise? What was the Joe Judge doing? What like special teams coaches that get elevated to head coaches? What do they do? I mean, I just don't know. But what I do know, what I do see with my own eyes, that I can actually really place. I saw this coach lead a team to the Super Bowl, right? I seen this coach win 30-plus games over the last 3 seasons. And I mean, this is a Thursday. Happy Thursday. Yo, my ear is ringing, bro. I'm tripping so hard right now. Like, I don't know what's going on. So like I said, I was gonna start there and go back, right? So then we've got the I guess we'll say Chris Sims for last, because it's a Thursday, and you know I got a few good things that I want to get into about my boy Jalen Hurts and all that. But while I'm taking a quick break, man, like I said, we're just gonna get straight to it. There's a few things I want to get into. A bit of the Chris Sims, Jalen Hurts, what's going on with that? What's going on with these guys talking craziness about our flocking squad, you know, Schefter, the Schefter deal of it and all that and all that. But before we do any of that, man, let's keep the maniac thing. Let's get the nest, keep it out of the way. Please like, subscribe. If you bought that Fly Eagles fly, drop a comment in that box if you flying with the flock. Let's fly. Do remember, join that maniac thing, know the gang. You hit that bell, you get a bing. Whenever I'm on this YouTube thing, let's fly. And while that's the maniac thing, let's not forget to keep the main thing. Hope this video finds you in good vibes, good times, clear skies. If you're not there, I hope this helps you get there because we about to go there. Oh yeah, if we haven't gone there already. Just a little bit, right? So we got into the whole Chris Canty, because that was the last thing that I just saw right before I started setting up top on here with y'all, right? So I just thought like it's wild to me, and it's definitely the polls season. Because these poses are out. Like I said, I look at it as positions of serious examination that we got to look to. And there's no method to the madness or anything that I'm doing. It's just, you know, popping out positions. And I figure this is a Thursday. I'll get into the quarterbacks a little bit later. However, so this guy, Carton, I don't want to take that road of a lot of people out here pointing out the fact. So what I know him from, I'm out here in New York. So I know him from 660 The Fan. He was on there up until, I believe, 2017 when he caused some charges and all that. And people point to that, to the reason why he's not credible and all that. I actually like the guy. That's why, Chris Sims just bugged me out. His roller coaster, how he's on it. But lately, I just see that Craig Carton, he's really pointing, like, I saw it yesterday real quick, but I turned away because I'm like, whatever the flock is talking about, I'm on it. But then I saw this thing is catching traction. Everyone's talking about it, right? So he's New York 660 The Fan, pretty good show. Him and Boomer Esiason had a morning show, da-da-da-da. Then he had whatever he went through, and then he was out for a while. Then he came back. When he came back, he was back on The Fan. And one thing that I did see that he did was pretty damn dope. He went in for some type of gambling fraud, some type of thing. I believe taxes, whatever the case may be. On Saturdays, he had a show where it was specific to people with gambling problems, and I thought that was very big on his part. Showed to be the bigger man and persevered through what he was going through, and that was super dope. Like, look at my boy Craig doing his damn thing. Now he flips over here, so now he's no longer on The Fan. He left them to do this TV thing full time, and now, much like I'm hearing, it's a lot of, like Schefter said, it's a lot of Inquirer stuff. Like he's saying They clamp on to us because they know. And like I said, I can look at this thing, as much as I hate to look at this thing unbiased, I can look at this thing unbiased as far as, you know, they can say that we're a very sensitive fan base. You know, they start talking about us, but I feel like that's about football fans all across the board. You know, they get to talk and they get to saying something crazy, something that we don't necessarily agree with, or it's just hogwash malarkey, like straight out the blue. Like, now you just talking trash. Then, you know, the fans are going to come out the woodworks. We're going to go out here, go crazy, get rabid and all types of those things. And I understand that. We're going to come out. We're going to defend our squad. So you could call us sensitive, but I just feel like we're passionate, right? And it seems to me that maybe it's just our turn. I don't know. Or maybe he knows this, because you see guys like Chris. It seems to be all of them all at the same time also. It's weird. Like, and it's from different directions. Chris Sims talking crazy about Jalen Hurts. You got this guy talking about he knows something that's going on in the organization, but doesn't quite know but he's not going to tell it because he doesn't have the source. So, I mean, what are you bringing it up for? You know what you're doing, and we're sitting here. This is what we do. We let you do this. I can't even talk for everybody else. I'm actually letting you do this, letting you affect me. Initially, when I first heard this one, I'm like, I'm going to take the high road and say exactly what I just said about him. Like, he's done great things since, and, you know, maybe he's just I don't know if you can say he's in a jam or up against the wall. Maybe the show's not doing too well, and he feels the need to talk about it. Bring up, get the clickbait, get the views up, get the views going. And it's him, it's former Jets player, I believe. Was he a Giant also? Offensive lineman. Victor Cruz is on there. I don't know, Jacoby from New York too? I don't know. Just like they were just having a crazy roast and just talking outlandish craziness. And the more I hear him talking, the more I'm like, nah, I gotta cook this dude. This dude is trash. Like, now they're just talking out the. He goes on to say that whatever's going on in the Eagles organization is unfixable, it's irreparable, whenever men go through this or whatever. But I can't tell you, not going to tell you that. But then, you know, when you got guys like D Gun coming out and verifying that there's something going on in the locker room that Dom DeSandro has to control Nick, and when Nick doesn't have his control, I was like, so wait, oh, whoa, slow down, stop. Let's take we want to be micro-minded. Let's take a snapshot of what you just said there. You're saying what you're saying, and you're saying that you're not lending any credibility. Everyone's coming at your head, talking about you, but you can't say what you say. But let's go and talk about what Derek Gunn said, which really has nothing to do with the price of tea in China. What the flock is we talking about here? These are two complete, whatever you think you're talking about. So then I'd have to take a step back. So let me calm down. If there's a problem, what would the problem be, right? So they're saying something along the lines of, I'm thinking, okay, is it an A.J. Brown thing? A.J. Brown with the whole team thing. Not to mention, let me rewind real quick, because he said it was the thing about D Gun and all of that. Then he comes back on the show and says, and then, against the Seahawks, they go for a long pass. And what was your game plan there? Sirianni comes out and says that, he was looking for a pass interference, and he wants to discredit Nick Sirianni on that accord, saying like, oh, what kind of a clown is this? Saying he was going for a pass interference. When, if you go back and you see the players, and if we're going to talk about A.J. Brown goes on to defend Nick Sirianni, saying that Nick Sirianni, if anything, is the most loyal coach I've ever been around, because Nick Sirianni went and died on his sword for us when it was really A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts calling an audible on that last play of the game that ended the game, actually, versus the Seahawks. So what are we talking about here? You're talking in noodles, you're talking in spaghetti, words a lot, like, what the flock is we doing? And then he goes on to say, so if you got the hate out there, what y'all talking about this, and I slurp it up, I take it up. What, bro? What are we the dudes, I think he's losing at the seams. He's falling apart at the seams. So the mere fact that I think that Schefter came out yesterday and had to roast him. He was on some show in Philly, right, talking as to the fact that, what this guy is doing, what his reporting. I don't even think the Inquirer would report on the things that this guy is reporting on. Just throwing stuff out there, throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. And actually, in essence, not really saying anything at all, which baffles me that this dude is getting paid millions. You know what? I'm never going to hate another man's money. The dude, he rose like a phoenix. He went through the ashes. He got burnt flame. And now he's rising up through the ashes, making millions a year on a fucking TV show. It's crazy. Super proud of the guy. Happy for him. But when you're taking this route, I can't see. And then I'm wilding because I'm saying I can't see him lasting this long. This is actually what goes on now. Truth be told, I'm not even gonna lie, y'all. This is real straight facts. I look at the views on my channel, the most watched episodes, if whatever you want to call, most watched videos, are the ones when I'm completely 100 bad shit, excuse my language, wrong, like bad, like, and I'm like, damn, they really was on that one, like. So you know what? This is the ish that gets the clicks, and this is the world that we live in. And you know what? I'm just, it's your world. I'm just an eagle flying in it. You know what I mean? So it is what it is at that point, from that mind state, from that point of view. But you know what? Regardless of what, this is what I do this for my therapy, to get off my chest, get off my nest. I got to talk about it. So the world that we live in, it is what it is. I'm not here to change it, rearrange it, just to interchange in it, and this is what we're doing, right? So he went on to say this, that, and the third, and all those things. The slurping got me going crazy. Then now he's mocking us. They singing the Fly Eagles Fly song. He's saying he walked into a pizza spot in Philly. No one's going to say nothing to him. He goes down to Ishkabib's, get a chick. Say, now you're stepping into the realm of like, all right, beyond audacity, like out of your flocking mind. You talk crazy. And I know I'm in New York right now, but the Philly in me, you can take the boy out of Philly. You can't take the Philly out the boy. I'm not even going to address that because that's just wild. Like, yeah. So Jalen Rose called it audible, D-Gun stated, and it said D-Gun. So yeah, that's something about as much as I got to say about that situation. Felt like I've given him a bit too much airplay already as is. I just, am I forgetting anything that I wanted to address? I don't know if I shut the door quite closed enough as much as I want to, but maybe it's something we could revisit later when things come to my mind, and I want to get it. Sidebar, but you know what? While they out there talking trash about us, I can still talk trash about them, because what I did forget to get into the other day, and this was not on the itinerary, but you know what? Being like I said, I revisit things. This is what I do in the mind of a maniac. We spend it all the time. It's Dizzy the Flock Captain. You know what this thing is, right? So you got, because I just need to laugh real quick after getting worked up off of that BS. It is wild to me. Before I transition, what I did want to say was, so Adam Schefter said it's basically like yellow media, it's Inquirer level stuff that he's doing over there. And then I believe he went on to say that a lot of the things that whatever he may be bringing up is wild. Something along the lines of that. Perhaps one of the players, it's like it's misproven. He keeps trying to tiptoe around it. One of the players may have taken another one of the players' girls or something like that. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's beyond the pale. I mean, they're reporters. That's what they do. They're supposed to report. So, I mean, it's odd to me, and I get it, and I could understand why he wouldn't want to say nothing about that, because just me saying it feels like I got nothing. I don't know what, if at all, anything that's got to do with anything. And if there are problems, such problems, I just, like, they're talking about this dysfunction and all this madness going on in the organization. And I don't know, maybe it's because, like I said, I got the blinders on also. I look at the world through evil colored glasses, got the crazy bias. But I'm just like, these guys and Roseman and Laurie, like, just over there, just go with Jeff Steban, Laurie, the top dog. Over his tenure, we have been one of the most steady organizations in the league, top 10, if not top 5, since he's taken over as our owner. So this dysfunction that they speak of, I believe, is just coming from, like I said, once again, a micro view from micro men. I sound like them because now I'm taking it personal and calling them out their name because of something they're saying about my damn team. But, I mean, they're talking crazy, too. This dysfunction thing is just wild to me, because if we're talking dysfunction, there's a difference between dysfunction and unrest. For a second, there's a period of unrest that we're going through right now. We're going through, if you call, rough waters, rough seas. Skies are not clear, rough skies, whatever you want to call it. Things are not going quite right. And so in the locker room, when things aren't going right, guys are going to be a bit chippy. Guys are going to go at each other. Like, if you're going through something, I don't give a damn if it's family, your brother, your ace, boom, coon, whatever you want to call it, mom, dad, whatever. You're going through something and things are not rough. It's not going to be honky-dory, sunshine and rainbows everywhere all the damn time. We're going to, a bit of healthy, constructive criticism amongst each other, negative reinforcement, whatever you want to call it. Things are not going to be as shiny as they were prior. So I can get that. I understand that. It just baffles me how they're taking this as dysfunction, whereas I see it as dysfunction when you look at teams like the Niners. These guys talking about the past instead of looking forward. Talking about the past all the time. You can never get to where you're going if you keep looking back. You know what I mean? I understand you got to know where you're going. You got to know to get to where you're going. You got to know where you came from, stuff like that. I get it. But if you keep talking about the same thing, even during Super Bowl week, you're not going to get to your ultimate goal because you're always looking in the back burner instead of looking at the rules for overtime. Just things like that, right? Then you've got the Bow Boys. These guys are chirping at each other over social media. You don't see that with us. So that's why I say it's more of a bump in the road, a blip on the radar than a damn iceberg taking out the Titanic. Like, I'm sorry, that was crazy. I feel really bad for the people on the Titanic now. I don't know why. Getting emotional. Maybe that's why. Whatever the case may be, I just think they're wilding with that. And while we're on the topic, because, we always had to poop on the Cowboys when we were here, because this is what I do. I don't know what's wrong with these guys, you know what I mean? Regardless of what, once again, it was proven last weekend that the Cowboys are good at all things, not football. This is wild to me. Michael Parsons goes out and wins the MVP for playing basketball. I love it, bro. These dudes can do anything. Talk, chirp, whatever you want to do. Basketball, hoop, anything but football. I love it. Not to mention, something came out, whereas Jerry Jones, Michael Parsons was on this show talking about him and Jerry Jones. They talk all the time. He asked me, he's like, yo, what you need? I got you, da-da-da. I got you. I'll do this. Yeah. This is what I want. This is what I want you to do. This is how I want you to go down. Like, so Michael Parsons is the assistant GM, but they're talking about the dysfunction in us. Not to mention the dysfunction in us. And we got guys talking about how bad our quarterback is. And Chris Sims talking about, he's the most overrated player in the league. And then all I see over the last 2 days is Justin Fields and these guys bending over backwards to say how great Justin Fields is. And I just feel like our boy doesn't get the same love, but we don't care because no one likes us. We don't care. This is what we do. All we need is brotherly love that we got. A brotherly shove them to flock up out of here, right? Because this is just how I feel right now. Justin Fields, it's like, oh, but you look at this. Oh, look, he's running for his life. Look at this. He's doing this, doing that. Da-da-da-da-da. Not to mention, even the Kid Carton goes on to say, like, yeah, they were 7-9 last year, nowhere near a playoff. Didn't the flocking, didn't the Packers make the playoffs 9-7? That means they were, what, one game out of the... I can't sometimes. But I get things wrong all the time, too. But just when you're wrong about my team and you're wrong about other things, then you're wrong with me, then I'm going to point out these wrongs utmost to the top of the top to the best of my abilities, right? So, yeah, man, they got me working. It's got me crazy. I don't know if this therapy is going to work today. Everybody going to get it. Whoever encounters me is going to be wild today. So, we got that Chris Sims out here talking crazy about our quarterback when this quarterback is out here getting all the love in the world for being, 4-40 over his last 4 years with his organization. I know I just said he won 7 games. Regardless of what, that was hyperbole for effect, not in cement. You know how I do this thing. So you got that going on. You got the Jordan Loves and the Strouds. Oh, they're going to be the best thing since sliced bread coming up and da-da-da after a great season. They don't got to prove it again. When all you hear about our boy is that he's got to prove it again. Oh, he's overrated. The most, not just overrated, the most overrated player in the whole damn league. Like, I said, nope, we're not going to play that game, not going down their list. However, you know, like, he is what he is. They do what they do, and we see this is what they're doing right now. They're posing. They're posing, they're posturing, they're trying to put themselves in a position of importance to get people, to get views, to get clicks, to get likes, whatever the case may be. This is the world we live in, and I'm just going to navigate through it, and I'm going to talk about it how I see it. This is what I do. I think this is what I'm doing. Think I'm losing it. Regardless of what is what they're saying, this, that, and the third. Get those poses out of here, and we're going to get into the Egomaniacs pose positions of serious examination. So this offseason, I went into running backs the other day, and we're going to take a quick retread as far as running backs go. Initially, I was of the mind state that, yeah, we should probably will get DeAndre Swift back. He already knows this, so he already knows what we do. The market is not going to get that crazy. It's going to be good. But then you take into account how he really does. He's if we do lose DeAndre Swift, he goes on to perform well and play a certain amount of snaps for the next team. We'll get a draft pick out of that, right? Not to mention the next guy that we probably pick up is going to cost less than him. So we're saving money, we're getting a draft pick. And then another thing you can look at, just look at our Kansas City Chiefs, the NFL's Kansas City Chiefs, and what they won the Super Bowl with, a 7th round draft pick and a 1st round draft pick, albeit a 1st round draft pick, but the one that they're not playing in Carton was Soler and Pacheco. Pacheco really gets the brunt of the run. He's running the mill, whatever you want to call it. He's getting the bulk of the load, as far as the running game goes, and they're paying him pennies on the dollar. Then you take into account the last thing, the most important thing that I've been chanting all offseason is the fact, the postseason, is the fact that we need to fortify that defense. And anything taking resources away from that is taking resources away from this team being an overall better overall team. So I believe we're going to allocate our funds properly in that direction as opposed to going with DeAndre Swift. And I was talking more with my heart the other day as opposed to my mind. And I'm taking a second look at it. Yeah, so as far as running back goes, I see us checking this free agency market. If it so happens that he falls into a place in an area that benefits us, of course, we'll snatch him up, bring him back. But there's so many options out there. Once again, I even brought up Antonio Gibson. Could you imagine him getting back with Kenny G with the sweet feet music and that tandem going back at it once again? I mean, that would be 2 receiving. I mean, the options out there are endless and where we could save money. We all want DeAndre Swift back, but we really do need a better defense. So while I was talking about running backs the other day, we're going to get back into quarterbacks today. So quarterback, right? Like, what are we talking about quarterbacks for? Do we need a quarterback? What are you talking about? Quick question. Outside the Monomator, y'all come down there if y'all want to have fun with it. Would you trade if there is this dysfunction? Because I said I wasn't going to get into the problem and see how we can solve it, but I'm getting very long-winded in here. We're going to hop up in and then hopping out. So, A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts, would you trade a package of A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts for that 1st round pick, for that 1st overall pick to, I believe, the Bears? And then snatch up Caleb Williams. Then you have a tandem of him and Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert. What? Would the Bears even do that? Who knows? Leave your opinion down in the comment as far as that goes, man. I don't know. I'm bugging out of my mind. Just inside the Modern Maniac. I love Jalen Hurts. Would never, whatever the case may be, if there are problems, here, take our problem and make it true. But I don't think there's any problems. Just something that was going through my mind. Like, what would you do if you really had that opportunity to do that? Would you do it? I don't know, man. It's crazy. It's on another day. So you got that going on. While we have that going on, there are things that we have to address. So while it may not be it's not going to be Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is our quarterback, but we do need to address the backup quarterback role. Once again, much to my point of allocating funds to the other side of the ball where we need it at, Mariota is paid a lot of money. To the best of my knowledge, backup quarterbacks get paid quite a bunch. I believe like 2-3 times more than starting running backs now. It's like flocking crazy. Like what? I believe Swift was getting like, $2 million this year? You've got Mariota getting like 13. It's like 7 times sweet. Whatever. It's a lot of money for a backup quarterback. And what we learned from last season is that even if he is hurt, well, hurt and injury are two different things, I know, but Jalen Hurts proved that he is going to fight through it, albeit possibly to our detriment. One of his virtues, I get it, but much to our detriment. Because possibly Mariota coming out there could have had the coaches switch up their mindset, switch up their thinking, and may have learned something throughout the season that could have helped us better later down the road, or if not, even just having a healthier Jalen Hurts later down in the season. So, to our detriment, but he has proven that he's going to play no matter what to the best of his ability. He's going to work hard. So we're going to look at things like, in my estimation, perhaps a Tanner McKee, just elevating him, having him play the backup quarterback role, having him develop. We see him. He's got a few skills out there, a few things that he could do. And I just think it's sometimes beneficial for a team to have two different type of quarterbacks back there, albeit, beginning of the last season, I was like, rah, says Mumbai, yeah, let's go. Woo, 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 woo. Two guys, the same thing. One guy goes, come out, but you know what? Just looking at it from a different view and trying to allocate everything to this defensive side of the ball, at least as much as we can. Mariota, that type of pay for backup quarterback, I know it's such an important thing. We're one of the teams that has benefited from having a serviceable backup quarterback, but just this team that's currently constituted. Not to say it was a fluke, but it's a very flukish thing. It doesn't happen all the time that the starting quarterback goes down and the team makes a Super Bowl. I believe it's happened 3 times over 58 Super Bowls, a percentage of 6%. You know what I mean? It's a wild, it's a very low chance that happens and that it works out and then it goes down like that. So if it was up to me, as far as quarterback goes and positions of serious examination, I examine that as something that we need to step back from, lower that price tag as far as the backup quarterback go. Mariota could get the flock up out of here. Maybe somebody in the draft, Tanner McKee steps up. But as far as I say, we stand pat. Not so much stand pat, of course, with Jalen Hurts, and reallocate funds towards the defensive side of the ball as far as backup quarterback goes. And that's how I see it as far as positions of certain points, serious examinations, positions of serious examination. I got to lock that thing in. This is your thing. What the fuck is we doing over here? And then while that's that, we had the piece of Agent J is going to play the dysfunction. What's the problem? How do we solve it? What's the problem? Oh, another problem. So before I heard the issue with, we're going to hop back into this thing again because I just can't help myself. But and we'll just leave you with this. We've got the, how they were, oh man, damn. Mega Maniac just caught me off guard. Came out looking like a damn ghost. Scared the fuck out of me. So, boom. We've got that guy. Possibly something going on in the locker room with someone else's woman and blah, blah, blah. But before I heard that, I was thinking of perhaps the Matt Patricia thing. That's what splintered down the middle. Something splintered as far as that relationship went. Having to go to the side. Matt Patricia being elevated. Slay had issues with him before. And maybe those things weren't as swept under the covers as much as we thought. Probably still some things still may have reared their ugly head, which led to getting rid of the guys on the defensive side of the ball. You got guys who probably like Desai, who was in Team Desai, guys that were Team Patricia, which just baffled me that they would do something like that towards the end of the season. That strikes me as desperation, not dysfunction. I just can't see it as dysfunction. Dysfunction is a systemic thing that goes over time and time again. Like I said, I just think these are blips in the radar. You look at the offensive side of the ball. Maybe there was a shift in philosophy with, Brian Johnson being so close, allegedly, because, a lot of us, me being one of them, built that thing up to be possibly way more important than what we thought. Like, oh, he knew him since he was 2. Just because you knew someone since you was 2 doesn't mean you've been around him since you was 2 years old. And every damn day you really, really know him like that. There's people that I've known since I'm 2 that I see every once in a blue and it's like, damn it, what's your name again? You know what I mean? So, not to say it's that far, but it's not this extreme or that extreme. Maybe it's somewhere in the middle. But whatever the case may be, maybe there was a rift in communication between Brian Johnson and Sirianni, and maybe you just felt the need that he had to pull that splinter out, get that out of there. Just things weren't working quite properly the way they needed to be. And while it may have not been wrong, it just wasn't right. Something wasn't right with it. You get what I'm saying. If you don't, traverse through the mind of a maniac, if you will, for a second, man. But yeah, that's just how I see these things going down over the last few days, man. I think Chris Sims needs to shut the flock up. Craig Carton needs to shut the flock up. this dude over here, Chris Canty, he can shut the flock up. All these motherfuckers can shut the flock up here on a Thursday. Give it up for our boy. Number one. Oh, man, I ain't even rock a one today. They had me so damn pumped, hyped out here. Whatever the case may be, man. Y'all know how to do this thing around this time, about this time, at this time, to the next time. Make it your best time. In the meantime, between time, keep it a great time. And what else we do around this time, about this time, at this time? It's always the Eagles clock around here. Open your eagle eye, poke your beak in, give it an eagle screech. And say it with me one time. What you gonna do when Eagle Mania swoops down and runs wild on you? That's 2 in a row. That's not what I want y'all to say with me. You know what I want you to say with me, man. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles. Let's fucking go and get the flock body.